Namaste. Welcome back to Mindful Serenity Yoga with Nancy. And we are going to continue to answer questions from the jar. And I want to encourage all of you once again to try this exercise for yourselves, this impromptu speaking sort of thing, this idea of pulling a question that we're not maybe half sure about from a jar or from an envelope or something, and trying to speak or address that issue that's on the piece of paper that we pull out without thinking about it too much. So it comes from that deeper place of us. When we do these types of exercises, they help us to assimilate our learning, to make us aware of what we're learning and what is actually resonating inside us and has had the chance to be absorbed by the mind. Not the personal mind, but the deeper mind. So I'm going to begin answering the questions. I'm going to first of all start my timer. And then I'm going at 10 minutes. This is what I give myself to answer this question. And they're fairly deep questions, so sometimes 10 minutes doesn't seem like a lot. And sometimes, as impromptu speaking, it seems like too much. Okay. Take a deep breath. Just so that I can get past that old ego that wants to answer questions as if it knows everything. And it knows nothing of importance. Anyway. So the question I pulled out today is, what is Shakti? What is Shakti? Now, Shakti is something I talk a lot about lately, especially lately, because I see that Shakti in myself as being impeded by several layers of samskaras. So in order to talk about Shakti, the way I like to talk about Shakti, and to come to an understanding of it in the yogic terms, I like to also talk about samskaras. So there are two S words that belong to yoga understanding. When we say Shakti, Shakti actually was one of the Hindu goddesses, the partner of Shiva. And so we have Shakti and Shiva in our systems, which would probably be equivalent to yin and yang, right? One is the earth and the warmth and light and strength and power, which is the male. One is the ethereal, the moon, the sky, lightness, not light, but lightness and coolness, the feminine energy, which is the Shakti. So the Shiva is the male energy, the Shakti is the female energy. Now we don't have to talk about goddesses, however, to understand Shakti. What we have to understand is energy. And we are all going to be agree at this point, I hope, that everything is made of energy. We can take our molecules down to the finest level, to that subatomic level, and we will find between the circulating and rotating electrons nothingness. But we know that nothingness is the energy by which everything is derived. Everything is impacted. So we have different types of energy. We have the male energy, which is, like I said, that power, that go, go, go type of energy. And we have the female or ethereal energy, which is the feminine and the peaceful and the nurturing and the maybe the creative and inspirational type of energy. Shakti within us is the energy that flows within our systems. And it is resonating with peace and joy and bliss and love and all the things maybe that we can only imagine experiencing. They're not out there. They're in us. They are naturally flowing through us in that Shakti. So think of the Shakti as a river that's flowing through and feeding with all types of tributaries, that's feeding everything and everyone with its resources. Shakti does that for us. It flows through our systems. Now, in yoga, we also talk about the Kundalini energy, which is a form of the Shakti, or the Chi, which would be in Taoism, which is that energy that's always flowing. We look at the spinal cord, especially in yoga, as having great significance, not only anatomically, but spiritually, because the spinal cord holds many nadas, or the most important nada, which is energy channel in the entire body. And that's the Shushanam, which runs right up the center and into the Ajna, which is or Ajna, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, is the center here between the eyebrows, or the third eye center. So we have this wonderful channel of energy that should be flowing freely. But for most of us, what happens is that energy channel gets blocked. And you've heard of the chakras before. I don't want to have to go into the chakras here with this, but chakras are energy centers that help to feed, like they're these major tributaries where the flow is going. They get fed, pick up more energy, they move up. And energy is meant to go up from the root chakra on the bottom all the way up to the 1,000 petal lotus up here. So we have this energy flowing from the bottom up. Energy is meant to go upward. But like I said, most of us, or many of us, have blockages either in our chakras, the seven major chakras of the body, or just think of it as blockages along that river passage. So we have dams being built up, so that Shakti cannot go for a sample. Now, what creates these blockages? Well, if we look at our psyche as just being the accumulation of learned experiences throughout our lives, then we can say that it colors our perception and it colors our ability to open our hearts and let certain experiences in, and it colors our ability to, our unhealthy tendency to push things away that don't please us. So we block it. We create these closed doors along the Shakti flow so that the Shakti cannot get from one level to the next. And like all flowing things, Shakti wants to flow. It has that energy going through it. It's meant to move up. It's natural. It's inherited in us as these beings beneath the human body to have the Shakti flow, not only feeding the spirit and feeding the astral body, but feeding the physical body. Because without that Shakti flow, most of the times we may feel a lack of physical energy and a lack of wellness. So this Shakti flow is our energy, our natural inherent energy of peace, joy, happiness, all that gives us that thrill of experiencing life, that allows us to see life through eyes of wonder and awe, and to be open to it. It is an energy. Shakti is an energy. Now, we don't even have to think of it in terms of the ethereal sense or the goddess sense or the Hindu sense or the religious sense or the spiritual sense. Just think of it as an energy flowing through your body. And sometimes that energy gets blocked. It gets blocked by our thoughts, which are basically the building blocks of our samskaras, right? Beliefs that we've come to develop and hold in our cores, and ideas about what we like and don't like, and what is right and wrong, should be, shouldn't be. And those ideas have a tendency to block the Shakti, prevent it from flowing, because we don't want to stay open to those nasty things out there, right? Things that we perceive as nasty. Sure, we like to see the sunset and, win the lottery and all those wonderful things, find our soulmates, and those things open us up and allow the Shakti to flow. That's why we feel so good when we have those things in our lives. But those things are not what's opening the Shakti. It is you in here that have the doors that open and close. And if you, for whatever reason, get that soulmate or get that $1,000 or $100,000 check a year that you were looking for when you were manifesting, and it's taken away from you, what happens to those doors that you opened yourself to allow this wonderful feeling of Shakti to come through? They slam shut again. And when they slam shut again, you get blocked again. And you feel how awful it is to be blocked, because energy stays down in the lower center. This energy, this beautiful, vibrant energy of light, think of it light, that's meant to go up, is suddenly blocked and kept in these cramped, dark and dingy corners or quarters of our being. So Shakti, we want it to flow. It's an energy flow. It's blocked by something called samskaras. Our mental modifications, our minds, what we've done with our thinking and judging and perceiving. And it can enrich our lives because it is our lives. It gives us all the things that we could ever want in terms of peace and joy and love and happiness, which can never be found out there. It's found in here when we open up and allow the Shakti to flow. So the work we do then is in opening those doors and keeping them open so the Shakti can flow and we can enjoy this wonderful process of life. So Shakti is energy. Shakti is our life energy. Shakti is what we're meant to have flowing through every cell of our body, every single moment of every single day. And if it's not blowing or flowing, it's something we're doing to shut the doors. Well, that is what I have to say about that. I don't know if it's answered your questions in any way, but I hope so. Thank you again for joining me, and I do hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.